Hi everybody, and I apologize for the length of time it's been since I made a video. I very much appreciate all the comments that you have all been leaving me, asking patiently when I plan on doing something new, and to some extent some of the delay has just been lots of different chaotic things happening with the house. I've been working on my so-called man cave, which is really just my half of a second bedroom. We also joke that it's the walk-in closet because the other half is where my lady keeps all of her extra stuff, purses and shoes and so on. But the other half I think you've seen in previous videos, where I keep my model collection, my racing rig and so on. And I've been working on rearranging the room quite a bit and putting in a loft bed. Long story short, there's just times when, as a night person living with somebody who is a morning person, if a morning person gets up and decides that they need to do the full getting dressed routine, they might need the entire bedroom and bathroom and so on, and there's no way I can sleep through that. So rather than heading off to the couch, I now have another bedroom set up where I can actually make it nice and dark so I can sleep really late if I want to. And it's a loft bed, so it's right above my racing rig. So yeah, it's kind of funny to be middle-aged and still climbing up into a loft bed sometimes, but yeah, it's still kind of fun. Another little project I've been working on is this. I don't know if you can see that. I hope there's not too many fingerprints. This is the headstock for one of my AX-400 ESP guitars. As you can see, the LTD line. I'll turn it over. And you might be able to see that I've installed locking tuners. This is way overdue. This guitar I've had for, I don't know, well over 10 years. And when they originally shipped it to me, they forgot to install the locking tuners. So they sent me the locking tuners, and I never had the tools to install them, because you do have to drill new holes. And as much as I was very careful, I still managed to drill one hole that went all the way through the headstock, unfortunately. So, but the rest of them installed nice, and I actually deliberately tilted them just to make them look a little more, Tim Burton-esque, I suppose. But anyway, this is the guitar that I usually tune to the Cannibal tuning. And so yeah, now it's finally got locking tuners. And when I took these strings off, I realized that was my last set of the super heavy strings. So here we have a set of Ernie Ball 7-string Slinky Cobalt. And obviously I don't have a 7-string that I'm going to install these on, but I basically ignore this first gauge of 11. That'll just give me a spare 11 gauge string. So then basically you just start from the 14, and then you have the 18, 28, 38, 48, 58. So the super heavy gauge 58 is for doing that B flat string. And then the 48 would be like your normal E string, excuse me. E string only detuned by 1/2 step, so E flat. I saw these cobalts. I've never tried them before. It's a different metal. The thing with my hands is I discovered a very long time ago that nickel strings, after I play them a while, something about the chemistry of my hands makes them start to have a funny smell, and they sound not quite as good. So for years I've been playing the stainless steel strings instead, and partially because they also are supposed to have a brighter tone. Nickel is more classic and warm. So, but these ones, the cobalt is supposed to have even brighter tone. As you can see by these graphs that are supposed to indicate, I guess, the brightness of the different metals, response, and so on. So, yeah, I bought a set of them in this gauge in the hopes that they will be good for the cannibal tuning. And this is the normal set that I use, which is 9 to 46. This is also known as the hybrid slinky. Sorry guys, I got a kitty that wants to come and play. You want to say hello? Here we go. This is my new kitten. Hello. What do you have to say for yourself? Alright. Off you go. Yeah, that was the other part of somewhat chaotic last 6 months or so, is getting a new kitten. So, she's lovely, but she has quite a personality. So, anyway. So these hybrid slinky, they're basically a little heavier on the bottom, 46. I think this is normally a 42 if it comes in a 9. So with the hybrids, what I like to use this gauge of string for is Slayer, the earlier Slayer, which is just detuned by 1/2 step on all 6 strings. So E flat, basically. So yeah. Okay. So there's that set. And while I was shopping, I went ahead and got some hybrid slinkies in the new M steel as well, which are supposed to be even more amazing for tone, as far as high output sound, than the cobalt. So this will be interesting to try out. But yeah, these strings are the most expensive. So they cost roughly twice as much as a normal set. Or at least I should say most expensive without going with something like what do they call it, elixir strings, I think, which are supposed to be much more gentle on your fingertips. I don't know if that's actually made by Ernie Ball or not, but anyway, yeah. Another little package arrived recently. I realized I needed to start having my own measuring tapes, because I could never find one of this type when I needed one. I could never find it in the house for some reason. And every so often I do take my measurements just to track my progress in the gym, and also because I'm kind of a little bit into the aesthetic bodybuilding idea, where you go for proportion, kind of going for like a classic bodybuilder look, I suppose. And so if you go by the schools of thought that, let's say, consider Steve Reeves as an ideal, you would have measurements for pretty much every part of your limbs and your torso. So even down to the size of your neck, the size of your wrists, the size of your ankles, and just kind of have a general guideline of what size all of your different muscles should be in relation to each other, along with things like your wrist and your, ankle measurement, just to kind of also fine-tune. It's all just a guide, of course. I don't remotely meet those numbers. I guess I'm not that far away from them either, but let's go ahead and open these. Oops. I hope that wasn't too loud. Interesting. Funny thing is, I would never need this many of them, but this whole package was so cheap that, once you're ordering a bunch of things on Amazon and you just have this as an add-on, you could spend 55 cents or something like that for one of them, or you could spend $2 or $3 and get a pack of 12. So, yep, there you have it. I have a whole bunch of them. So there you have it, 60 inches. And it says superior tailoring rule. See if we can straighten this out a little bit. Might want to roll it up. Let's see here. What do we think? Package is 4 inches by about 5 1/4. Very nice. I imagine this is going to be the same size. Might a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bigger. How about that? All right. Well, I think this is just going to be a quick one for today. I have quite a lot of other video concepts to go, including one of the new gadgets I just bought. I'm not sure how much of a video I could make out of this, but I did buy a new guitar processor. This is by Digitech. Let's see if I can get a little more of it in there. There we go. Sorry if my neighbors are being loud. Might have to find that noise and edit it out. This is an expression pedal, so I can use it as a wah. Or what other pedals? Maybe volume. Pretty cool. I I've explored the tones in this a little bit. There's so many cool tones, actually, that it's the kind of thing where just the tone by itself can immediately inspire you to play a riff that goes with that tone. So, musicians out there, you might know what I mean. If a tone has an interesting echo to it or something, you know, like a delay or a certain tone that just inspires a style of riff right away. So, but yeah, it's pretty neat. I have a lot more exploring I need to do on this thing, but so far it's been pretty cool. These are getting really cheap also, so I was really surprised how inexpensive it was. So. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, and like I said, I'll keep trying to make more videos now that I seem to have gotten to a place where things have calmed down a bit. And I have a lot of new things to show you. Another really surprising thing happened with a particular book about a band called Gore. So I'll have that story to tell you guys pretty soon, and some other things that have just happened recently, along with more of the favorite kinds of stuff, like brushing and Vice City and so on, and of course all of your requests. So thank you so much for all the support and all your patience as I'm trying to get back in the swing of making videos, and we'll see you again soon. Alright, thanks.